Yeah, I'd like to call to order this Thursday, December 5th, 2024 meeting of Springfield Historical Commission. We have Commissioners Walsh, Nardi, Zorzy, and Nestor present. Well, three, Walsh, Nardi, and Nestor in the room, and Commissioner Zorzy online. Do you have minutes in here? No minutes, okay. All right, so just I'm going to take one out of order here. I'm going to go to the Oak Street, Forestry, Indian Orchard Fire Station. Everybody here for that?
Yes.
And all your whole. Good. Come on up. Let's do it. This is not part of the public hearing one. That's why I want to get it out of the way. Which you guys, some of you know.
Yeah.
Last everybody's name.
Brian Connors, I'm with the city's economic development office. Home address is 274 Springfield Street, Springfield.
Thank you.
Jimmy Hannafin from Kalinovianic Architects, 90 Bayberry Lane, West Springfield.
Thank you.
Peter Garvey, Director of Capital Asset Construction for the City of Springfield. Favorite lane in East Long Meadow.
Thank you very much. Renovations, former fire station, repurpose for new land. Hey, just tell us what's up. You got something to show us. Whoever's first, just go for it.
I guess that's me. So I will try to go through these. So we were contracted by the city of Springfield to look at doing some exterior renovations at the former Indian Orchard Fire Station. The intent is to try to make it as watertight and stop deterioration that's been going on for years. The building is unoccupied and is in desperate need of some care. The city's funds are approximately $1.7 million to spend, which could be enough to get us roof replacement, some masonry repairs and some cleaning, some detail, some repair of the details and things like that. But it's far from what we need to really fix and 100% renovate this building. But we're going to do what we can with the funds that the city has allocated. So just some quick photos. These are the existing conditions. Original building here was a one-bay station. Later, an addition was added to a second bay, which you see right here. From there, it's over 100 years old. These are the conditions that it's in currently. The photograph on the bottom corner there shows an overall view of what's been done. There's been some maintenance work, I'll call it, over the years. Some attempts at repointing, some exterior door replacement, some overhead door replacement, trying to keep the building somewhat weathertight and secure. Unfortunately, it needs a lot more. So our project, these are some of the elevations, the front elevations you see. Many of the windows have been bricked in. Some areas tried to be fixed. The side elevation, again, some more infilled windows with brick, plywood. This is a back section, existing overhead door that never got changed. It's letting water and creatures into the building, which is a huge problem. Some of the front entrance vestibule that we're going to repair. A back portion that we're planning to proposing to remove. That addition was a one-story section of garage that was added on many years later. It's in terrible condition. It was attempted to be a retaining wall. It's only brick. It's caving in. It's in very, very poor condition. So our project includes basically repointing, cleaning the entire building, repointing all of the brick. To bring it back watertight, replacement of all the roofing on the main building as well as the tower, and some replacement of the man doors to keep it secure and again watertight. That's the back corner you see on the right hand side. You can kind of see the one-story addition, which is this piece in this back corner.
Yeah.
Is in terrible condition, not insulated. It's wood frame to brick wall. We are proposing that has to come down. It's structurally not sound. There's no insulation value. It's really failing. So that was an addition probably 50 years after the original building was built. So we're proposing that to come down completely.
So what we have done so far is we've done an environmental cleanup in there. We can actually access the building, pull the oil tanks out of there. So we made safe, so we're pretty good right now. We're going out to bid for the masonry restoration as well as the roofing. It's a budget of about $1.5 million just for that portion of the work, and then there's some structural work that needs to be done. If you pulled an apparatus in there now, it might end up in the basement, so we're trying to secure the building, make it weather tight as well as structurally sound for the next phase of.
I mean, I know they put it out. Their proposals several times. Is there anything, anybody looking at it, if it's a reasonable condition?
There's some concepts.
We've let the
Yeah, I mean, so the bigger project now, we're working with Indian Orchard Citizens Council on a community center type of use.
Yeah.
That depends on a good amount of fundraising beyond the funding that was already allocated to actually finish the project, but that's what we're working on with now on redevelopment.
Right. I have nothing here.
Yeah, site plans.
So we're gonna start working on the building when it's weather dependent, obviously, because we can't see the restoration. When we're done, the new roof masonry will be restored. There'll be environmental cleaning, so that's some of the stuff that probably we're keeping folks away from. I mean, we're spending $1.5 million, so that should get it closer to the finish line.
An intent by the city to put a preservation restriction on the property.
Yeah, I was actually just, so this round of funding was funded through ARPA. The next round of funding, TPA has made 2 awards for this project, which is not part of this scope of work. So with the CPA awards comes a preservation restriction. So the contract for those awards is actually being circulated now for signature. And then
But there's no proposed changes to the historic detail of the building.
Well, other than the removal of the one story.
Well, I would suggest that's not a historic detail of the building, though.
yeah, I would say we would expect the next round of funding, we're hoping to get into doors and windows where we would expect to come back and we'd have the restriction in place when we have those features.
We'd love to be able to do the doors and windows, but
Yeah.
this is
I
not.
just didn't know, I mean, the only, well, you're actually right to put down, the only thing you're doing structurally, I mean, other than repairs, probably old roots, things like that, is take off that other. Do you have any other pictures of that back?
It's
I mean,
difficult.
It just looks like they just put it there.
Kind of
Something,
shed.
yeah, kind of a
Yeah.
shed.
Yeah.
It's a 1-story piece. It's 2 masonry walls. This is the garage door in the end, and it's just wood frame. There's no insulation.
What did they use it
No,
for?
I'm assuming garage storage space.
Just for,
Yeah,
You can't even fit a vehicle. That patch was, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, a garage door at one time.
that's where they break in.
yeah, that's what they break in.
Correct.
Yeah, there's a hole broken in
So what are
there.
we trying to determine here?
Just informational, right?
Yeah, we were really as a courtesy because.
So I didn't know if we were, if there was no advert, I didn't know quite where we were.
Yeah, no,
It
it's
sounds like it,
just that we are gonna have a preservation restriction. We thought it was a courtesy as
Oh,
going out to bid.
I appreciate
We
it.
wanted to
But I
provide.
also, I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, I have no problem with that being removed, that's gotta come from us to take that down. I think it's something environmental. I believe so. Question, yes, please.
So you're pointing and assuming you're gonna try and match the mortar that's there.
Correct. We report the entire building rather than, as you can see, some attempts were made to match it and it hasn't been successful. So we are gonna tuck point the entire facility. Wow. To ensure that it all looks consistent at the end, clean it, power wash, clean it, so bring it back as close as we can to original. We're keeping all the detailing. We're not talking about any changes.
That was my main question.
Yep.
Yeah, right there.
We're gonna tell them where the specs require reuse of all the brick that's there. As much as we can. We're trying to maintain everything we can. It's a lot of a lot of beautiful brick detail that we're trying to maintain.
Right. No, but
Do we need to- We need to vote.
no, there's no vote today.
On the breaking down.
We can make recommendations.
They have to apply to take that building down, and that will probably then send it back to us.
I think it would fall under demo depending on the age of the building.
Or, you know, I think 75 years, it would be 75 years old if it's not. But I'm just suggesting, I'll tell you right now, just from looking at it, and I know the building, it's been a friend within the street for a young guy, I saw that. It was deteriorating then. I'm old, so, but relative to that piece of property, it would probably enhance it to take that building out of the back, and especially if you're talking community, something better could be used, that space could be better used, so. I won't be in the way of that, but you may have to apply to take it down, and then it might get tossed back to us. At which point we'll make the.
So there'll be a waiver from the demo delay period.
Well, that's all we can do is we can not waive the delay, or we can waive the delay.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, you still, the worst case is you wait 9 seconds or something. Oh, I look forward to something happening to that building. Is there anything else you want to? This is what we're up to, and where it's going, sounds good to me.
The demolition would, how would that come back through this?
If any building in the city is 75 years
Yep.
or older and somebody applies to demolish it, it has to come to us.
Or even a portion of it.
Or even a portion of it, not even the whole thing. Anything's gonna be demolished, it's just a demo delay ordinance. And so it does not, it has nothing to do with historic action, it's just any property that's 75 years
So
or older.
the addition, if it's less than 75, we have to.
Well, that would be a different question for someone else, but I'm just telling you because it's likely to come here, and the good news is I just think it would be enhancement to take it out of it. So. Especially if there's a potential community involvement there, I can see that.
So the building department will make that determination?
Well, they'll determine the age of that section,
Okay. I just
and
want
the rest of it, we already know is falls within the demo delay.
Right.
If they can't find the age, they'll default it to the age of something else, so. Perfect, do the demo delay anyways, but good luck with this, and I'm sure we're gonna see you with the next step will be what?
Yeah, I mean,
ribbon cutting.
yeah, no, I think that the next step for us is getting the reservation restriction in place, and then the next sort of tranche of money, which is $550,000. See what we can do with that after we get through this phase.
It sounds like enough money to do something to that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll certainly get in a better position than it did today.
Our goal is to spend all the money.
Stay by.
Thank you for that. I mean, I'm sure that you're gonna find structural stuff inside there. You probably already found most of it, right? When you start taking roofs apart, you start finding every other little thing that's structured.
This is following in the same footsteps as 31 Elm Street.
Oh, you
Get it to,
get it to the point, yeah.
right. If someone raised their hand and says we need it. Thank you.
I think, yeah, thank you all.
Thanks.
Okay, the first continued here in the street Clarendon Street. Anybody here from 3 Clarendon? Back there. 94 Elliott. Oh. This application for appropriate colors. If you guys can give your name and addresses for the record, please.
I'm Daniel Johnson, 94 Elliott Street.
Thank you.
Basil, B-A-S-I-O.
It's fine. You're also 94 Elliott?
Yes.
You have something you want to show us?
I sent it over to the application, but I just brought the.
Oh, you did. It's right here. Sorry.
Look,
This is for exterior paint to the front of the document. That doesn't really. This is closer to the truth. But I heard you wanted to.
the name,
So you wish.
I want to take them up, so.
You have a picture of portraits. I could use some. I don't know if you. I have no idea. These are, I know this is the dark one is historically.
Yes.
Accurate, but. I would go through any other, what's your preference?
both of those,
Now,
yeah, so.
so what's gonna be?
The primary is the darker one,
Right.
right, and then the lighter one is an accent.
What will the accents?
Kind of what you still see there, you see the white around along the side,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, that was basically.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, and if you can't see it, if he pulls back out, you can see it's also like the top where the window casings.
Yep, got it.
Those type of things. They may do some of it in some of the little details on the porch.
Any, Commissioners have any other questions?
I think I'm gonna answer something if I may.
Please, you may.
So this is the porch upon completion because we don't want to finish the porch without the paint, but it eventually is gonna be the whole house. Do I need to come back for that? Or
Yes.
do I do, yeah,
Yes.
okay.
If it's not on this piece of paper,
That's right,
if
okay,
we're all on this piece of paper,
Yeah.
maybe we could solve it today,
okay.
but we can't, do that, it's gotta, we gotta.
Are you going to use the same colors?
Yes, that's it.
It'll be a very easy process, I would think, if
Yeah.
that's the case.
Can we do them?
No. Although this is not complicated, some of them are such that you can't do that one, but I'm saying
That's fine.
that complicated ones, one, they're
I'm
gonna
not
say
sure, the
that.
question I probably should have asked, but I.
That's okay, it's,
We like seeing.
Yes.
and I like the colors.
Very good.
Thank you. I attempted to try to do one of those programs where you can just take that picture and paint it yourself, but.
Good work.
No, my eyesight's bad and I.
Any other questions from commissioners? Commissioner Sorese, any questions? No, okay. I guess we can put this out for public commentary. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak for or against the proposal at 94 Elliott Street to use the color palette? That one right there to read for the porch and accents. Anybody for or against? Hearing none, I'm going to close public commentary. I entertain a motion to accept the application for district appropriate for street paint using the color palettes as presented.
So no.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we call a vote. Commissioner Walsh. Yeah. Commissioner Nari.
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi.
Yes.
Commissioner Nestor.
Yes.
We're all set.
Do you need to keep the physical samples or can I have
No,
those?
sir. Great.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Very, very much.
Thank you.
Okay, 63 Clarendon. Anybody 63 Clarendon? One 75 Mill Street. That's you. All right.
Good evening again.
Okay, well,
Conrad Blake, 175 Mill Street.
yeah, no, okay. That's a Mill Street. Storage shed in the backyard. Okay, what will we ask you for? Remember exact question again. I asked you to bring back. Go ahead, tell me what you got.
Well, what we last spoke about last time was we weren't showing we weren't showing the full apex of
Oh,
the
there
roof
you go, that's.
and the shingle itself. And then Mr. Nadia proposed the doors there with the trims. So what I thought about and I looked into it is those doors, I already have the doors hung with plywood, so I'm suggesting to cover it with a 1/4-inch PVC and trim it around, make it look like that door. That is what I'm proposing to do.
Painted.
Yes, definitely. The whole thing will be painted red, the clapboard, all the clapboard
Yeah.
will be painted red, just like the existing building. And architectural shingle, just the same. Make it looks like what's there.
Open for the doors and apologize, I have to repeat, so,
Yes, so
just to take,
go ahead.
give it a make doors.
Yes, I already, the doors are already on the building. They're made of the plywood and they're actually 4x8. It's I made it wide because I want to be able to push my snow blower and stuff inside there. So it's a full sheet of plywood. Frame with 2x3s on the inside. So the proposal I'm proposing right now is to get a 1/4-inch. I see them in Home Depot, the 1/4-inch PVC sheet. Cover the entire door and then trim around it. Make it look decent.
Okay, so can you go back to the original?
Oh,
Because none of the renderings don't have that particular door unless it's gonna be this last one.
No, it's the last one here. So
What
that,
I'm talking about, these don't look like that dimension.
yeah, they are actually 4x8. It's a full sheet of plywood.
So, the trim would actually be on the door then.
Yes, definitely on
Right.
the outside.
It's a faux door.
Real doors made out of plywood.
So, the windows that are shown in here,
So with those windows, I was looking into it and they're the same thing as these Home Depot windows here, these American craftsmen. So, I mean, if possible, I know you guys are mostly against the white trim, so mostly. So I'm thinking if it's appropriate, trim around it, so less of it will show.
What's the picture in the house? I mean, picture, what's the paint? What are the window colors?
On the house,
Yeah.
it's a green, it's like an olive green. It's like, yeah, it's,
No, the windows
the
are black.
windows themselves.
well, that's the front, but I have white, in the rear building, they are white.
Right. But at your building that you're modeling this after, so that it looks the same,
Yes.
they're black.
Well, the building, the windows in the front building are all white, but I have a second building in the rear, that those windows are all white. Yes,
Is that because it's not visible from a public way?
that maybe, I'm not sure, I bought the property as is, so.
Let's get back to the original problem. Now, I have some drawings here. But none of these drawings are representing that door and that window the way I'm looking at them.
No, this is it, I give you, Mr. and.
Well, I have it, it just doesn't represent what we're seeing there. We bring that other one back up, please.
So maybe this.
I think what he's saying is the door size and the window shapes.
I mean, that's showing that one you just had.
Yeah,
Oh. This one?
Right, that one right there shows a window in the middle of the wall. And a door to the right of it. None of this, are you moving that door?
no, well, this is actually the back of the building you're
Right.
looking at. This is the far back. The opposite side, yep, would be,
All right, so do we have one on the opposite side the way it is now?
so
Because that's what I'm looking at. I see that right there. And I don't even like the look of it. You got a window in the middle of the door right next to it. It's not represented in any of these renderings, but go ahead.
that's one we're looking at because. That's not even the street view. You cannot see that side we're looking, we were
No, you
just,
can't see it.
you can't see that any at all from the street.
Don't. So at this point, I would, anything that's visible from the street.
So this on the right there, that one on the right. That side is the side you can see from the street, some of it.
That's this one that you're talking about?
Yes.
So are you
yes.
gonna change it to be like this?
The door, yes, I'll
The
frame
window?
the door. I'll frame the door and the window if needs be, yes.
Right, but what I'm saying is you gave us brand new, these nice renderings and they're really nicely done, but that's not what you're doing.
No,
You're doing something different.
that was there already before we.
Right, I understand. But if you're, this is what we're gonna be voting on, this is what it's got to be.
Definitely.
That window has to
Take
not
that.
be there,
Take
it has
that
to
out.
be here.
Okay.
The door, I can get what you're saying about the door, I'm not quite picturing it. But I think I'm okay, you know. I wish I had a rendering of what the door was gonna look like.
Well, it's gonna look.
It's gonna, you're gonna make it to look
Make
like
the-
that.
He's applying another face.
Right.
Yes, and then trim it and trim around and make it.
Right, so, and the windows, if it's visible from a public way, I would like them to match the house. Even
Okay,
if you just paint them black, it's no matter.
okay, I can work with that.
But,
So.
go ahead, Commissioner.
So I just want to understand, so on the right photo, that door, you're gonna apply the PVC to it to look like this.
Correct.
And that window, you're gonna change to match this window in that location on this drawing. Right?
Correct, if
Okay.
it needs to be, yes.
And then we already saw this,
Yes,
Yeah, we saw that, I
that
didn't
was
trust
also-
it.
and this one was not seen by the public way.
No,
Then
I can't, I've driven by and that back wall can't be seen.
no, you can't see that any at all.
what you're doing is basically the same thing, you're applying PVC to the door.
Yes, I'll cover both of them. I checked, I went in Home Depot, I checked, I saw it cost like $50 per sheet. So I mean, I would just cover.
So you will end up with this.
Right, but this is
a-
visible from the street, that's,
Yeah, and this is a change from what's.
and it's not, you're right, it's a change from what's there. This is what we're voting on, is what's on this paper, not what's on that paper.
And understood.
So, I really want, this door doesn't fit that picture either, but I understand you need to have a wider door. So that doesn't bother me, there's a lot of sheds that have double door of some kind. But if you have a 4-foot door, and you're okay with that. I'm
Well,
okay with that.
if you notice on the other side, I intended was to put a wider door, but changed my mind down the road. I said, I don't need it. If you look at the other side with those two little windows above. Yeah, right there, if you notice that I was thinking about making a big double door there, I said, I'm giving myself extra work. So I decided to block it off.
Okay, so that's the front facing the,
That's looking across the parking area there in the backyard.
which side is looking like directly out to the mill?
This would be to the right, where you're looking at the, yeah, that side there. That's directly, that's heading towards Middle Street.
That will just be
That's what's visible.
clapboard. Okay. Any other commissioners? Sorry.
So you will take that window and fill it in. And create a new window that's horizontal. That looks like that picture.
Okay.
Right? That's what
Yes.
you need
Oh,
to make it look exactly like the picture. Then you're good.
I can do that. That's gonna solve the problem.
Well, it's not, you gotta see,
No,
let me try to just. It's what you put in front of us is what we vote on.
no, I understand.
And if we vote on this, then that has to look like this after.
Definitely, I
And
understand.
that's why I was pointing out that one, especially there right there with the window in the middle and the door to the right.
Yeah, actually, the guy that did the drawing for. It was the one that did that and.
I mean, this, I think you should look better this way anyways. I mean, you want it to have some. You want it to look good. I mean, you know, everybody here knows why,
No, I understand.
but we couldn't, we could put it to a vote, but I would tell you it wouldn't pass this way without the strict understanding that. That's what it's gonna look like when you're done, not even do that, this is what it's gonna look like.
Definitely.
But I get the door parts, I'm okay with that, I think. This is what it has to look like.
Definitely.
Okay, so anything else you wanna add?
Well,
You pretty much went through everything.
just about that.
Yeah, I just wanna open up to public commentary. If you have anything else, you can go out.
No,
Any other commissioners have questions? Okay, let me open this to public commentary. Is anybody here like to speak for or against this application? For certificate of appropriateness for this shed. Construction 175 Mill Street.
I'm Harry Seymour, 68 Washington Road. I'm somewhat concerned, I'm speaking for it. Okay, and I am somewhat baffled by exactly what is being done here. But I think he's been here, this is his third time. And I think he's trying to get there.
Yeah.
And it is kind of at the back of the property.
Well, I mean, see, this is
Yeah,
the rendering that I become okay with. But.
is it a clapboard? What's the?
yeah, it is clapboard.
Yeah, at our last meeting, he agreed to use the same material that's on his house.
Yes, it is clapboard.
Yeah, the same,
I think-
framing the windows, that kind of accent that the house has in the colors to say, we already covered all that.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, that's good, and I just praise him for, continuing to come back and trying to meet your
In
needs.
this case, I wanted him to demonstrate the roof line and things like that, which is clearly done here, which is
Yeah.
just what I wanted. The issue I had just I mean, you know it already, it's just that. What you had there was gonna still have to change substantially. So this is what we're voting.
Yeah.
And it's the area, okay with.
I am, yes.
That construction. Anybody else for or against? Hearing none, I'll close public commentary. I entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of appropriateness 175 Mill Street. For the storage shed. With the to be finished with the like the rendering that was submitted to the commission today. Looking for something that can be more specific.
It's sheet A2.
Sheet A2. Right, so corner boards and clapboards, which we already talked about, and match existing buildings. Asphalt shingles, you already had, to match, which you already said. Corner clapboards, corner board and a white trim. And just window color. In window color, it's visible from a public way. In this case, I would just probably like them all to be black. Right, that's me too, that's the motion. So. Okay, any discussion on the motion? I'm gonna use roll call again, Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi. Commissioner Zorzi?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Nestor?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh, yes.
Thank you.
Make it like that? Thank you for, you'll be happy with the
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So will I receive notification from you?
Yes, so you'll get something from our office just stating that the historical commission approved the work. It's not a building permit for the.
No, I'm aware. I spoke to the building inspector. Matter of fact, he was by there today. He came by. So he's actually waiting on you guys to approve, which I appreciate you guys did. Thank you very much. So I will move over to him next. Thank you.
Okay, next is 141 Pioneers Avenue. An application for certificate of appropriateness. Want to install a heat pump downstairs, back of the house, mostly hidden from view.
And I'm Stephen Carey, a neighbor from down the street, 87 Pinewoods.
Okay.
Here for,
We do have another organization.
Let me
Property, now we also have the property owner on cleaning as well.
Oh, is that food?
they're listed. That's on Marty Dobro and Missy Montgomery. Which will be different.
We did receive.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Okay. I just like to have it in here, I don't see it, but if you guys both saw it, I'm good.
It's probably,
We just need to have permission from him.
Gotcha.
So go ahead, talk to us, tell us what's happening.
There's an area in the back of the house, where they're putting the, forgetting what the unit on the base is called, the actual heater cooler unit. And then, it's first floor only. Here we go. Okay. And their, contractors painting it the same color. We've seen a number of these around the neighborhood.
So you have a 1-2 there, you have, so the exchange will be high up. I can see the little box drawn.
Yep.
Um,
So here we go, let's read that though, because
Go back, college, go around the pipeline. Just go to the height of the first floor window. Okay. Your 1 or 2, also the pipes can be painted same color of the house. Yeah, the size of these pipes?
I think they're about 3 inches wide.
Okay.
And I don't know if you go back to the previous, the handwritten there, I believe it said it's either 1 or 2. I don't think.
One pipe going up.
Correct.
And it painted the color of the,
Same color as the house,
yes, the trim or
the base unit there.
So this is
No,
just,
when you, there's 2 colors on the house. One is the white trim and the other is,
I believe it's the same color. Let me check with the owner.
should be the color of the pipe.
Exactly. I believe it's the same color as the clapboard. I don't know if they can hear us up there, but is that correct?
You can unmute yourselves and talk to us if you'd like. Okay, that picture, stay right there for a second. Yeah, zoom in a bit.
Yeah, so right over the hand is to the right, just a touch. And I believe you're still muted, Marty, if it's possible to unmute. I do know they're on a remote island in Maine, and that might be part of the problem.
I thought they were able to chat.
So,
Or if you do hear me, perhaps you guys could text me. But that is the same color.
Or they could put in the chat for the Zoom chat.
You're welcome to use the Zoom chat. There we go.
Oh, here, have him call again. Is that okay to do?
Sure.
Okay. Hello, we have you on speakerphone.
Yeah, very good, Steve. Thank you so much for doing this via Zoom, as we are far away. My wife Missy had her gallbladder removed.
Oh, no.
Else we would be there. She had an emergency surgery up here at Maine Medical, but yeah, I think it is the same color as the clapboard, the sort of olive green color that we have plenty of that paint and to match it exactly.
And the conduit that's going up is just going into the side. And I have a picture here
Yeah.
that, is that what it's gonna look like? I mean, I can't really show it to you.
Okay, you showed it up and put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's right there. It's it's a few pages in, right there, that's it, zoom in on that.
It's a standard.
Right, it's very standard, and that's the other piece is gonna be down ground level there, and fencing and hedging in the way there, so minimum visibility, I believe is.
Yes, yeah.
Correct. Okay, we can hear you, speak right up if you'd like.
Okay.
Yes, it'll be, the unit on the ground is in a bunch of bushes,
Those bushes.
red bushes, and it's behind a fence. You can
Yes.
hardly see it.
Yeah, minimum visibility is what we're looking for,
Yes.
which is why the painting of the conduit is very, very important. But there's no other, just that one conduit, you're just not quite sure where it's gonna be yet, between those two windows?
Was that Marty, was that the contractor deciding one or the other, or was that for an option for the historical commission to determine?
This is the same one we're having.
Maybe we'll do one or the other, and I'm not sure.
And you don't have to, it doesn't matter, as long as you're just doing one,
Right.
you know it's just one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I think it was up to you if what one would get approved,
Yeah,
if you have a preference,
well, it really doesn't,
right? As long as we paint it, which
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be one
Yeah.
there, whether it's up to close to one window or the other.
right, yes.
So
You know,
4.5
Go ahead.
inches wide, protrudes 3 inches, it will be painted, and it's about 10 feet tall. Is that I think.
It looks about right at the top of the window.
Yeah.
10 feet.
Probably just a little under, but,
Okay,
and I'll say I've been their neighbors for a couple of decades. They keep it in good shape.
good. Well, that's,
Don't mess with their rose bushes.
all right, is there anything else you'd like to add? I think we have enough information, let me just ask if the commissioners have any other questions for you? No, hearing none, there, okay, so I'd like to put this out to a public commentary. Does anyone here like to speak for or against the application for certificate of appropriateness, 141 Piney Woods to install a heat pump as demonstrated? Anybody for or against? Maybe start over there. Go ahead. Name and address for the record, please.
Gina Vito, 124 Highland Ave. I actually live in Milton, not in Springfield. But I am representative of the contractor. We actually do installs of this equipment. And it is very simple. And when the conduit is painted the same color, it does blend in to the siding, and often homeowners preference that over the standard way that comes as the conduit. So, and the option of one or two can sometimes vary with the electrician doing the install, so there's an outlet on one or the other, but in this case, it's very close, so.
Okay, thank you. Here,
Harry Seymour, 68 Washington Road, and I'm a neighbor here. This is Marty and Missy's house, is that right?
yes,
All right, and I'm just speaking for it, sure.
okay, thanks. Anybody else for or against? Seeing none, we'll close public commentary. Then entertain a motion to accept the application for appropriateness of 141 Piney Woods to install a heat pump as presented. So move.
Oh, great.
Okay, hold on, we gotta still vote, so hang on, you might want to take it off.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Commissioner Zorzi,
Yes.
Commissioner Nestor,
yes.
Commissioner Walsh, yes, Commissioner Nardi.
Work here stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 184 Thompson Street. Replace the front rear steps of the building, because of the third floor meeting.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm 223 Lauren Lane, Southwick, I'm going to speak on behalf.
And my name is Marshall Crescentini. I'm a critical repair program coordinator at Revitalize CDC in Springfield. My home address is 66 Fairfield Avenue in Holyoke.
And you were just about to say something else?
Yeah, I'm with him, we both work at Revitalize.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
We're speaking on behalf of the homeowner today. We should have a letter of authorization of the state.
Okay, it's there. All right, perfect. Okay, let's
Um,
describe what's going on.
So our client in this case, the homeowner, she's participating in our HUD Healthy Homes program. Central to the program is, addressing housing related health hazards for low income people. In this particular instance, the front and rear steps are both in a state of disrepair. The front steps in particular are relatively dangerous at this point. The treads aren't attached. Top, the railings are relatively loose, and it's kind of become a pretty pertinent health hazard for the occupant.
Okay, what do you propose to do? We're not going to trust that the stairs need replaced.
Sure. What we're proposing is essentially demolishing and rebuilding steps, matching the existing design. For the front stairs, we want to construct new steps with 2x12 pressure treated stringers, pine risers, and pine treads. The stringers being pressure treated, they won't be visible. They're behind the risers and the treads.
Okay.
And again, the design will match the existing steps. And then to accompany those new steps, we plan to install a grippable black pipe handrail that extends the full length of the steps on both sides.
Just both sets of steps. Same.
The back steps, very similar. We plan to demolish and dispose of them. The back steps have a 4x4 landing that's currently there. We plan on replacing the landing with, again, pine materials. And then using those pressure treated stringers, pine treads, pine risers. Again, the design will match the existing steps with the exception of the railings. Rather than using the existing railings are in bad shape, we plan on using a black pipe handrail, exactly like the front step that'll extend the length of the back steps as well.
That looks like back step.
Yep, those are the back steps. They're visible from the sidewalk.
I'm sure how you do that.
Continuous and then.
Right, but I mean, there's gotta be some kind of 4 foot, where, what'd you say, 4 foot?
The 4x4 landing.
What does that have now, is pressure treated with decking materials?
Yeah, it's I believe it was a pressure treated with it was painted over at one point in time.
So this is certainly not an original, see the railings are not original.
Yeah, in fact, the siding is also at some point in time, long before we ever got involved, the siding was changed at one point.
Yeah,
Like
it's. Okay. Commissioner Nardi,
All the wood that you're installing will be eventually painted.
Given that that's necessary, yes. And I know the existing the front porch, the colors are a green. If I remember off the top of my head, it's like a green and a blue.
Well, I heard you say pressure treated for the string, but
Yeah.
for everything else. But it's not gonna be finished at all.
So
That
what
will
would it look like this?
So, given the commission asked us, if we should paint it, then we paint it matching the existing colors of the porch, which I see are green and it looks like the steps in their current step,
Yeah, but you're not redesigning, so the steps be the same.
So we can paint it the same color too, whatever.
I'm worried.
Well, I'm just concerned that it's natural wood, it's gonna not do
It
very
has
well
to be,
in the snow.
right, it has to be finished in some manner.
So how have you planned to finish it?
In terms of just painting it,
Well,
We
what
could-
kind of finish, paint or whatever? To seal it? To seal it.
however you would recommend us doing that, we're not sure.
So the commission doesn't control color, but they can request that you either paint or stain the wood.
Okay.
But really any color variation is really up to you guys.
Yeah.
In the back, how? Can you? See if we can see those back steps from anywhere?
I believe they're visible from the sidewalk. Next to the neighboring house,
To the right or left?
to the left. Again, there was a little bit of debate at one point as to whether or not it was visible, but I think we concluded that it was visible.
Well, I'm just.
I mean, it's obstructed by the tree, looks like by that tree,
Yeah, so
maybe
it's-
past it.
Okay. I was just wondering, I'm thinking, because it looks like it's right now constructed like a deck. And now that's constructed like a deck and a repair job. They're different. I just didn't know if there was something you would read, that if there was some historic. Picture, probably isn't. Anything that would indicate how that those back stairs originated. So I guess you could just stick with what it's about.
Yeah, what's currently there is a back porch that appears to have been an addition. Again, I'm not a contractor.
The porch probably is open.
Yeah, so it's an enclosed porch now, and like I said, it was currently there, you know, that photo is that 4x4 landing.
Okay.
Then steps that go down.
That's not a window.
Yes, there's a window that's part
Right,
of it.
well, we're gonna get there. I just want to get through it. Okay, now the window.
So the window on the third floor, the center window, is currently missing. It's covered in, you know, with the sheet of plywood.
Yeah.
We're proposing to replace that window, using this window. We have a photograph here. We submitted that as well last week, so, so. And then the specs.
Those are two over twos?
Yes,
Yeah. And because just,
Here's the historic photo, it's very tough.
oh yeah, that's two.
Yeah, and we've tried to, you know, it appears they're a darker color based on this, yeah. It appears to be black. So we, you know, it's a vinyl material, but we got it in the black variant, so.
In it just, in the exterior. What word am I looking for?
So are the grids on the exterior of the glass, or is it in between the glass, or can you stick to the grid placement on the window?
the grid, you can see it from the outside, it's on the exterior.
But is it on the face of the glass?
It has
I
to be
believe it's,
exterior.
I believe it's on the exterior, we have the specs here, but I don't know what the specs are specifically say whether or not.
Well, in motion, you can. Just say that it has to be.
Sure.
Glass, because it's most companies have it, they're tech, they have to be permanent. Like next year. Not in glass. Any commissioners' questions? Hearing none, I'm gonna open this public commentary unless you guys have anything else to add. Is there anyone here who would like to speak for or against this application for certificate of appropriateness at 184 Thompson Street, Springfield, to rebuild the front porch in pine with the pressure treated stringers and pine other wood finishing with black rail pipe in the back is the same. And the replacement of one window in dark color to exterior goods, 2/2. Anything else?
That's it.
That's fine. Well, that's right, but we gotta have the blacks.
No, I'm not worried about the way they supposed to know the profile of the window that you usually worry about.
Good depth, but this is a little deep, is it? No, not too bad. No, I see, I got you, so, perfect. Especially that far away, up on the third floor. Okay. So. Go ahead, all right.
John Robinson Wood, 269 Union Street. Is there any significance of the front rails and why we can't reuse them in the project and resecure them instead of doing pipe?
Well, especially in the front, pipe would is a historic detail. Look, it's all usually easier and cheaper to do than to build it after wood rail. The back one, I'm not sure how you can do it. That's why I was asking whether it could be rebuilt. I mean, are those still there? See, that's not a historic detail. A house that old would have. Well, we have the picture of it here. The historic picture. Black pipe rail is historic detail. Okay. At most houses. You know, it'd be more appropriate to have. But I'm out to public commentary now. Are you part of this transaction? No, you just asked. Okay. Now, so back to my public commentary. Anybody for or against this? Would you be speaking for or against?
I'm speaking for it. I just wanted to know if the rails had any historical significance and
Okay.
if there was a reason why or why not. We can't just reuse the rails that are there.
Well, thank you. You're for. I'm going to stop there, but I'll hold on to that question. Go ahead.
I'm Harry Seymour, I'm 68 Washington Road. I would like to speak for the proposal, and just say that Revitalize CBC is a wonderful organization.
They are. Okay. Anybody else for or against? We're going to close the public commentary. I entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriate. That's it. I don't need to go Thompson Street to rebuild the front and rear steps as presented. Front back, black pipe rail in the third floor window to be replaced. The black window with exterior grids 2/2. That's about it. Any discussion on the motion? Second, thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let me call the Commissioner Nesbitt.
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh, yes. Commissioner Nardi.
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi.
Yes.
Okay, just remember that if you change any of what you just said, you have to come see us.
Absolutely.
Don't do it and then come see us.
Yep.
Let's do it. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 25 Marengo Park. Okay, no Marengo Park. Okay, 96 Berkeley. Application for certificate of hardship, from 6 Mega Avenue. It's good for inflation, we took the thing, back with the income-based program that's funded in the work, okay.
Gina Cabino, 124 Highland Ave, West Road. I do just would like to submit, and I apologize in short notice. The homeowner was intending to join this evening and was unable to make it, so last minute she was able to sign authorization. She has some medical conditions going on for that different events this evening.
Okay. See that? Okay, go.
As mentioned on that first page of the application, I'm not sure if anybody has brought to the commission a program that is utilized through Springfield Partners, which does fund income eligible homeowners such as Ms. Joy with new replacement windows in their home, amongst other services. This would be to do replacement windows, and I do know that there was a question about the mullins being not placed on the exterior of the glass. The nature of the program specifies that the window must be a triple pane glazed window. Those specifications is what creates the issue when it comes to the mullins due to spacing and glazing on the window. And that is why they're not placed on the exterior and they're placed within the 2 panes inside. And they're actually welded within those paints, so they are not removable, but that is the reasoning for them not being exterior.
Okay, well, you keep going.
This petition is also in particular for white vinyl, as that is one of the specifications again of the program lines. In addition to that, the home does currently already have a white base. They are in wood. There is also severe rot within a lot of the framework and sills, which again applies to the need for the replacement. The homeowner is income eligible through the program and is financially not able to provide the service of replacement.
Has your organization ever worked with the historic commission?
Our
Or
as a
under
contractor,
historical guidelines before?
no, we are not.
I'm gonna suggest that, and we don't do this easily, but I'm gonna suggest that this house needs a site visit. Couple reasons. One, first of all, I've never, in all the years I've been doing this, and that's a lot of them. No one's ever said that you couldn't have the lights, dividing lights on each exterior.
Yeah, it was a question for me as well with our manufacturer.
Yeah,
I was like,
no one's ever said, even indicated that, and they're all doing triple, they're not all doing, but they're not all, but many of them.
Yeah,
Triple.
yeah.
You should only, with that, I won't pay triple, and they've never said a word about it, so.
Yeah.
That's a first for me.
Yeah.
The whiteness is not a first. We do not, as a rule, approve just white vinyl windows in a store property. Usually, there are some in the manufacturers, or there are some models that can accept, but they also can be have an exterior color that's different than that.
They are paintable, or do you mean that they?
Well, some come in 2 or 3 different colors, some
Yes,
bronzes
yes.
and some browns and blacks.
These two.
And some are very paintable, and that would be,
Yes, these
Oh.
windows in particular fall in both of those categories. They can come in, as you mentioned, black or like cocoa brown. And they can come paintable. It's just the color is a specification guideline, and I do have a copy of that here that I brought this evening. If you'd like to see it.
your guideline doesn't matter.
No, it's,
Our
so,
guideline matters.
no, absolutely, yeah. So I also want to clarify, I'm representative of the contractor who was given Ms. Troy as a potential client for the replacement. I don't represent the program that's funding the
No,
replacement.
okay, good. You were just kind of doing both.
No, I just wanted to explain because obviously there's guidelines that you guys have in place, and so I just wanted to make sure you understood why it was presented in such a way. I did go through and read it.
Okay, all right, then we're kind of on the same page. Commissioner, do you have a question?
On that 3rd floor window,
No, me too, go ahead.
it's gorgeous and a distinctive feature, and it would need to be.
That is not a window that is categorized under the replacement, so it's not every window in the home.
Okay, which windows?
Sure.
Can you show them to us?
I can specify them here.
Go ahead.
So this would be. Please forgive me. Handwriting here of the technician. So it's only the 1st and 2nd floor windows. So no 3rd floor windows are included in the proposal.
Okay.
And I do believe that they're. Originally, we didn't specify which ones. I do have which ones are up for proposal and replacement.
So what's the next one? Are those wood windows or replaced windows?
Those are currently wood windows. The program specifies that it needs to be a single pane window in order to qualify for the replacement of the program guideline.
Sorry, I was multitasking.
I apologize. So the existing window needs to be a single paned window in order to qualify under their guidelines for the program.
These are original.
Correct. To my knowledge, I should.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
So they're supposed to be triple pane windows.
They have to be replaced with a triple pane.
So I'm looking up the window and I'm seeing triple pane on the bottom section.
No, it's the entire window.
So then the muntins, the grills. Are gonna be inside one of the triple panes.
Correct, it's placed between the two panes of glass, so what would be the interior and the middle pane? If that's,
So
I
it's
hope I
not
explained
like,
that
it's not
correctly.
like they show on the website.
Correct,
We only have
so-
2 panes on the other side.
Is this from the manufacturer that it's on? Okay, so, and is this through, a north wind 3 window?
It's,
And I would also just like to say, I'm happy to bring anything back to the
National
manufacturer. Yes, north wind 3 is the,
Yeah, north and 3.
confirm my,
The, you know, the reason why I bring it up,
Absolutely.
is usually answers problems with it, there isn't something because they usually bring the film for the window.
Okay.
That might.
absolutely, sure, and again, I appreciate the commission taking the time, this is. Our company's first time interacting with the historical commission on any type of project, yeah, and. We would love to be able to also take that back to the program and say. We often get people in the historical society, Miss Joy was the first who was willing to. Try to move
A
forward.
lot of people in historic districts need that.
Yes,
To maintain
yeah.
homes, and to put a limit on it, by a color limit or a volume limit. Probably. But I know that we can't. The window, this window, I don't think, the way it stands right now can be approved. But I also, and I said, it's like this, we don't run out to every single house that comes along, but this one might be the same visit, because I don't see the windows there. Because it's very often that the windows, I mean, you said they're rotten. But old windows that are properly maintained are not, you know, go off the relative to the economics and stuff, but then, you know, the window man, I apologize for this, but the manufacturers find to think that it's dramatic statements. But they were last 25 years.
Yeah.
The windows in it in the house. So rather than just rip out 100-year-old windows, sometimes. It's more valuable to restore them.
Yeah, and I think the limitations fall more within the program who's
Yes.
submitting the funding and as wonderful as that is also a downside, unfortunately, in their specifications. But I would love also the opportunity to bring to them and say, you know, you guys as a commission have guidelines that you're enforcing as well, and so maybe there needs to be some leeway in the funding process for specifically historic homes that require that as well.
Historic districts.
Right, correct, yeah.
Because we get handled the tough job sometimes. I think that some days it's really hard.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's,
this is one of them, because here's somebody that probably needs this work done.
right,
And I know I can't approve it the way it sits.
nope, absolutely, and I
Yeah,
think,
but if we're 6 or 7 of us here, we still have a vote, it still could pass.
right, and I think this also is more like informational as well, right? So I would like
Did
to,
you look at any of our windows that would be appropriate for them?
yeah, and so again, that's
We should
the
cross.
unfortunate, right, that they have a set limitation on what they're requiring for the install to be. The type of window, the glass, things of that nature, and so because of those parameters, it really restricts what can be installed. And oftentimes they'll say the homeowner can pay the difference if they want a black window instead of a white window, but I feel so contradictive saying that to a homeowner who needs the funding to have the window.
Well, if you mean that, it's, I mean, a bright white is never.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Commissioner Walsh.
Yes, go ahead.
I just had a question for the petitioner. This is Evan, by the way. Now, do you have any pictures that you'd be able to show the commission highlighting any damage to the windows?
I did submit photos that were taken of the windows, each of the individual windows. With the application.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
No. I should be able to, hold on, if you just figure out my phone access to it.
So we do have a letter for this, just want to make sure that when we do a public, speak outside for a public, comment section.
Is that, I don't see that here.
First page.
The first.
I'll say.
We also, we did bring up the original photo. The 1939 photograph.
Yeah. Well, obviously people paint things, all the windows are all black there, but this picture here. Okay, so in order to move forward. I think I have the site visit, we can arrange with the homeowner that she can allow a couple of us to. Take a look at the house and then maybe we can continue this application to our next meeting. Or whatever, one after that, whenever it's convenient for a homeowner. I think that's what I would like to do. So we can, just check out the house and the windows in general. Because it's amazing how many times once you save the windows that are there. And usually when a job is done from that, the homeowners of a house like that are usually happier that they save their windows.
Yeah.
Just rip them all out.
And it's also, it's something that we are continuing to have an issue with as well when we ask for repair, right? Anybody could take out an old window and put a new window in, but if structurally that's not the best decision, we'll say, hey, sure, we can do this, but this is good. This is kind of beyond the scope of what you're asking to be done. And we often run into issues with them not wanting to fund to replace. Well, you're gonna pay to put a brand new window in this area that eventually it's just gonna fall onto the sidewalk because structurally it can't handle it, so.
Well, the structure, that's issues too.
Yeah.
Good part is, that's not part of what we talk about. We really talk about what it looks like from a public way. That's
And
it.
that was a
It's that
question that
simple.
I did have as well. So it's anything that can be seen from
A
public way, not just pertaining to the front of the home,
Correct.
correct? Okay, because I think that was clear.
And a lot of,
Clarification
in
for our
that neighborhood, a lot of those can be seen from other side streets behind them and stuff like that. There's a lot of twisting and turning over there. So what I'm gonna ask the commissioners to vote on was to continue this. What's the date of the next meeting?
We do not want to open it up to public comment.
Should we already?
I don't know if anyone has.
Okay, well, I might as well do it now. Get up, let me open, anybody have to speak for or against this proposal for the installation of the final window in final windows in 6 First Lane?
I'm Harry Seymour, 68 Washington Road, right around the corner from this house, and it is a beautiful house. We'd like to actually speak against the proposal and the way it's currently laid out.
Thank you, Harry. Anybody else for or against? Hearing none.
And again, we do have a letter, and again,
I'm gonna enter the letter.
it may be informative for the petitioner.
Have us read it.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Would I gave them? I don't have one.
Yes, sir. Right here.
Okay, there's also, let me just add this for the record, December 2nd, 2024, dear members of Springfield Road Commission, writing a letter in opposition to the window replacement project at 96 First Lane Avenue. So I appreciate the homeowners qualify for some funding to replace windows that program standards should not overrule standards of the historic district. Homeowner did not supply any documentation on the condition of the existing windows, so he stated they had routed with additional issues which could be addressed by replacement only. The first measure part was one of the conditions especially affecting the building or structure involved, but not affecting the historic district generally. The original windows need some maintenance are not a hardship, especially affecting the property, but not the district. Although the proposal doesn't specify exactly which one is being replaced, it would be an absolute tragedy if more decorative third floor windows, particularly one in the front, will be replaced. This front window is a paramount architectural feature of the house, and the fine grid pattern not replacement plan. If by some chance you approve this proposal, which I hope you do not, I strongly suggest that any new windows be installed in mobile one instead of grids between the glass. Interior grids will come on a bigger detriment. The divided lights. Ralph Slade, 271 Main Street, Springfield. Okay, is there anything else I have to enter into the record? Anything else you would like to add?
No, I would though like to thank you guys for your time this evening and hopefully we work closely on maybe changing some of the funding
You know,
parameters, so that way it can, you know.
over time, contractors, if they come and promise enough, they get, so they know what they have to bring us.
Yeah.
In order to have it pass, which is the general idea.
Yeah.
So if you have an organization that's interested in actually cooperating in that way, there's a lot of information you get on the website.
Yeah, and I would.
Look,
Oh.
and then I would be the happiest guy in the world if your organization would consider the historic preservation as opposed to just putting white windows.
And I would hope, you know, Springfield Partners is a program that is based out of the community that you guys are representing. So I would hope that along the way, some light bulb, so to speak, would kind of go off to say, we want to help the community and people in this particular area of the community. This is how we can help them and in this way.
I would love that. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
So are we continue?
We're gonna ask for a motion to continue to win.
Yeah.
Somebody like to make that motion to continue to 12, I entertain a motion to continue the application because the hardship at night, it's currently out until December 19th.
So.
Is there any discussion on a motion? Hearing none. Call vote for the wall, yes, Commissioner Nardi? Yes. Commissioner Sorzi?
Yes.
So if any other, see, this is what happens in the next meeting, again, we gotta see if we can call them and get a site visit between now and then. It's just any, if you can find anything else that might help them meet some of these standards and just have them come back. It's just to give her, us a chance to see it and her a chance to if there's anything that you guys can do together to make it more historically appropriate. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, we had nobody new come in, right? Nobody new walk in.
If you want to go back to the,
Well,
we're going to environmental reviews, we have,
I have, sure, but nobody else came in for these other three, right? Okay, let's do the vote on them then. And then we'll go to Sherman's. Let's vote on these other ones real quick. Well, the first one is 3 Clarendon. Nobody's snuck in from Clarendon, right? Okay. This is what commuter here. This time's out, so. So I entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of appropriateness / hardship for 3 Clarendon Street. Let's make that motion.
I'll make the motion with the hope that it doesn't.
Yes. Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
Okay. Chairman Larry, please call the vote. Chairman Larry,
No.
Commissioner Zorzi,
No.
Commissioner Nisbet? No. Commissioner Walsh, no. Okay,
and that's only in regards to the siting.
this is,
The electric meter, they already found that.
oh, was there 2 stuck in here?
Well, this does exterior.
No, again, you guys had already approved several, items at the original meeting.
Right.
Then it was continued so they can explore, the siding, as well as the electrical meter. They found that the electrical meter was already, on the exterior of the property, so that's a non-factor.
Okay.
And so the only, outstanding, issue was the siding. So by voting it down, we have to reapply it, just specifically the siding.
Okay. All right, the next is 563 Clarendon. Sure. Applications different hardship, deconstructing the roof line, but this seems like there's more time on this.
Just more time, but again, I always say that, you know.
They're just meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They can
right.
reapply.
Entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate of hardship for the deconstruct the chimney of the roof line. Indicated that negative is what we need that to come there. So somebody want to make that motion?
So moved with the hope that we get back in this.
There's second on the motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Zorzi?
No.
Commissioner Nestor?
No.
Commissioner Walsh? No.
No.
Not reached. 25 morning of the park, application, hardship, and straight roof and re-roof. Install extraordinary water shield and replace rod pole if needed.
This is their first time coming, so we continue this.
Let's take motion to continue with application for a certificate of occupancy of Mango Park to did you say 19? No. Remind me, thank you. To continue to the 7/19 meeting. So move. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, Commissioner Walsh, yes, Commissioner Harry,
Yes.
Commissioner Zorzi,
Yes.
Commissioner Nestor.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we have each shown. This is the environmental review. Last but not least. Wow. Just saw it. Okay, this is review project with the national grid districts. Okay, documents.
Should we restate our name?
Yes, please.
My name is Marshall Crescentini. My home address is 66 Fairfield Avenue.
My name is Rachel Monroe. My address is 23 East High.
Okay. Quite a big project now.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
86 Sherman Street, again, another one of our LP Homes clients. Her porch has been in a state of mid-construction for well over a year now. Kind of poses a trip and fall hazard in its current state. It's in, a national register, yeah. What we're proposing is to remove and replace the existing porch frame, as well as the installation of 12 concrete supports for the porch base, installing new cutting group pine floorboards, which we plan to finish. Construct a 4-step stairway with pine treads, risers, and stringers. The stair will resemble the original stair in the main entrance. Install black pipe railing surrounding the porch and on both sides of the stairs. Frame and install a wood lattice and gauge board under the porch. Construct 12 pine support columns with cornice brackets and horizontal 4x6 beams for the roof/ceiling. Frame the roof and install plywood, an ice/water shield, and asphalt shingles, and then finally install soffit fascia boards. Pretty large endeavor.
You said resemble. Did you say resemble?
Yeah, resembling at least the stairway. Essentially resembling the original design. We have an original photo. But the original stairs. Yeah, the current stairs are in fact those treads aren't even attached. A couple of them aren't even attached.
I can see that. This piece. Yeah. So all I'm interested in now is just the level of detail, the historic preservation detail.
So the old pictures.
Yeah, that's a heck of a place. think it was black windows. So you're gonna recreate the lattice work and things like that, fully
Yeah.
framed,
Yep, using a wood lattice rather than PVC.
okay? Now, what are you gonna make the steps out of? Those look like they're made out of, don't look like they're made out of those wood.
So we propose using pine, just to match the rest of the porch.
Okay, you're not using fir for the porch floor? On the roof fir?
We went with tongue and groove, based off of the recommendation of, conversations ballot, yeah.
But on the application, it says install new pressure treated for.
So since then, we had initially submitted our application, and then between the time we had made our initial submission and now we've continued to coordinate with our contractor based on the recommendations of Alvin. Communicated with them the need to use certain materials as well as,
He's fixed, so I'm just gonna maybe just, so I remember it. Course. Now, you probably better be 6 months. Or anything you want to help us with there?
PVC lattice has changed.
yeah, that's changed as well, again, based on the recommendations of.
Are you putting back the railing?
So we planned on using like a black pipe rail that would go up both sides of the steps and then run the length of the porch. Again, just because from a budgetary standpoint, we're soft rate within specific budget, and black pipe handrail would, be more cost effective.
Or the okay, let's porch frame, I don't know about that. Porch. You tell me you said fine. As opposed to fur, it's a frame. You would certainly said fur.
Yeah, we were talking about the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Four steps. Don't he? I mean, I don't know that original step is really hard to do. But install railings around the porch on both sides of the stairs. Now you're gonna try to duplicate. Picture.
They weren't.
So given we were authorized, we would use like a black pipe handrail that extends the length. If the commission decides that we should replicate the railing that's original to the property, based on that photograph, then we would go that route.
It's well. You have a hang of this yet? Is there any remnant of the original rail? Or are you gonna just throw away?
It doesn't appear to be there. Originally the porch was under construction by the property owner's son. He passed away mid-construction, and then so we don't even know where.
Yeah, so not it.
Yeah.
Was his construction techniques at all stable? So.
From when our contractor looked at it, he said it was a little incorrect and he would want to take it all out.
In part because of worried a little bit about the structural integrity of the roof above the porch.
Yeah, I can see this as major. I just asked this, couple times people have done this, they had to take it out what's there.
Yeah.
Probably more common, they have to take it out, even if someone's starting.
That's where that's why we, had pursuing a completely new frame and everything like that, trying to.
So no, at the top of the. A lot of this still has the historic details of the top, right? You're gonna remain.
So
Yeah,
could
so-
we replace it with a new, like, remember in Grafton?
So we were talking about possibly doing new supports, but using brackets that resemble the existing brackets. I have a photo of a bracket that. Again, we're not, but judging by the photo and trying to look at what's currently there. And again, this wasn't included in our initial submission only because.
No, this is, you get the hang of learning what to submit to.
Yeah.
Or even though this isn't the same kind of, this isn't a public hearing, this is just a. Do we have that on file?
No, I can send you a copy.
These perpendicular brackets are still there, the ones perpendicular to the columns.
Yep, those,
So that one is you're proposing for the side brackets.
yeah.
Well, even the side
And if we could,
brackets look like they're all-
if we'd be able to reuse whatever's there, then we could reuse whatever's, you know, that actually, if anything, is better for, better for us if we can reuse what's
And
there.
a lot of times you can duplicate. You just take one down and they trace it, they cut it with the sharp, they can make it some. So part of what is most interesting in hearing is that these historic details are kept. Up the top of these columns, when they square, so those, that's easy, they do seem to have. That's just around, red.
Yeah.
So they're easier than some. To duplicate.
Sure.
And the floor, the plumbing roof, and then the lattice work, building box, and lattice work. And what I mean by that is, you know, just what people just get, like hang a lattice.
Yeah, it's got
Just has to have their lattice back then.
exactly like the original,
In the same, some of it goes that way and some of it does this, so this is diagonal. Okay, either one, just like to detail, some people will this, that's a diagonal. But any detail on there that you won't be, that you think you won't be able, here's part of it. Anything on there you think you won't be able to duplicate.
Except you're not doing the right.
yeah, we don't plan on the original rail in part because the homeowner has some mobility challenges relative to balance, and I can tell that original railing that runs the length of the porch is low enough that it might be a hazard in that.
Well, that's true. But in a historic property, you don't necessarily have to raise it to the standard.
Sure.
Black pipe is what we recommend, but this would still need the bottom part with the black pipe.
At the same height.
6 to 8 inches over it, so that is where current, if you were to build a current railing there would have to be higher. The only reason it doesn't have to be here is because the historic.
Sure.
And that's our suggestion whenever the higher one is required, is black pipe straight. People don't see it. You almost can look right at it and not see it.
So in terms of detail,
yes,
outside of not, we could, you know, it sounds. We'll reuse the brackets, essentially mimic the exact brackets that are there right now. Like you said, if you know, we essentially cut out replicas, exact replicas of the brackets that are there.
A lot of them might still be usable.
Yeah.
They look.
That's actually one of the components of the porch that seems to still be intact. Supports aren't in horrible shape.
Well, they definitely picture here, most see you guys pictures on some.
Yeah.
Well, either way, you see where we're going.
Sure.
So this is what he was trying to say, as far as we've got those low rails, so you just add the pipe rail on the top,
Yeah.
and he's got the guitar. So he's not gonna fall over.
So
And then that's what he meant by the frame of the.
yeah, exactly like the yeah.
Take a picture.
And then in terms of the railing, it's you're standing here is that do replicate that railing in that photo there as well as in addition include a black pipe railing, or could we do okay.
Yes, exactly right.
That shaped rail is actually purchased for it on default.
Sure.
Careful. Be careful. Here it is. That's what it looks like. What's just talking about your what standard we need here? It's gonna not do any historical.
Yeah, so
Historically appropriate.
historically appropriate, but the end result is there any adverse impact?
Right, no adverse.
There's no adverse impact. If there is, then you have to come up with some sort of resolution for the impact.
Because, okay, so, if you talked to him about that before, so the initial proposal I see has adverse impact. So we would be approved, but we're cleaning it up quite a bit, and by the sounds of it, you can clean up the rest. The tone and flooring is kind of critical to to the reduction. The stairway, I'm less worried about it. Because you won't, that one almost looks like it's made out of stone or concrete, but I can't really tell.
Oh, it's wood.
I think that one's wood, huh?
Yeah.
That's it.
There's no picture that shows them the direction of the deck. The wood on the deck. You have several times mentioned that it is really important, the direction in which you wood goes.
Yeah, well,
Rather than
it would normally come out
from the wall
from the wall to
straight forward.
from.
Does that make
Perpendicular, yeah, that's
perpendicular
correct.
to the house?
And then install railings around both sides, of the stairs, frame and install wood lattice. Station floor under the porch. Frame and install, it's okay, build 12 support columns on 4x6 beams for the roof ceiling, frame the roof, and install plywood. Place water shield, the asphalt shield is now under the roof. What's gonna be there? And that, how puts the ceiling of that? Of the porch going on? Where is that gonna stay? What's there?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't think we've talked about that. I think we'd have to
If
take
it's
that.
not on here, just remember that if you're gonna change that sometime, that's.
Yeah.
Kind of do the same thing.
The contractor we've been consulting, I never mentioned changing anything with that, so
Okay.
my understanding is it would stay the same as of
Okay.
right now.
It's
It
okay.
doesn't look bad. Probably-
Yeah, it's in much better condition, the part of the porch that's in.
Part of, see, some of the adverse is when we start using money. We start using decking instead of tongue and zero, and trying to build the railings up to the height that would be required now, and then it's still a little bit lower, that height rail is less.
Visible, yes.
Less adverse. So I'm gonna go through these one at a time. Let's remove and replace this in the porch frame. You don't see it. Concrete supports for the porch base. I would hope you do that correctly. Install, it's a new pressure treated floor post.
That's since been amended
Right,
to.
good. That's, I just wrote it right here to become a groove. 4-step stairway to the main entrance. We don't have a picture of that, but with a pipe railing, I'm okay with figuring that you're gonna do that in a manner that's, because you can't really duplicate this. Install railing around the porch on both sides of the stairs. Here's where we have a big gap, because right now it doesn't sound like you're gonna be rebuilding those rails the way they were, right? You say.
So what, so again, that's part of the reason why we wanted to, come here to get your recommendations, doing that existing railing that's original to the porch and then having a black pipe rail company above it. As long as we can have a black pipe rail that allows for a high enough railing.
Yes, you can.
Then, yeah, then that's what we can
That's how
do.
we solve the problem of historic height.
Yeah. So given that that's the case.
But I wrote duplicate the railing and then in black pipe rail. Now frame and install lattice, wood lattice, if fascia board on the porch. Build 12 support columns of horizontal 46 feet for the roof, ceiling, frame the roof and install plywood, ice water shield and asphalt shingles, install soffit fascia board. Original materials, all going to be participating in original materials, and it's otherwise.
Sure. Yeah. And then the only language that I noticed that was in our revised copies, the language about the brackets, just making sure to use the same,
Same shape.
the same shape. They will literally, I think what the plan will be would take the existing brackets down, they're reusable, reuse them. If not, then the exact same identical shape of the existing brackets.
So the pole itself that we see there, you're not going to use, or you are going to use?
We're gonna do new supports,
New supports.
but if the brackets are reusable.
Go back to the line about the roof. We talked about the roof of the porch.
I'm talking about what?
No, the roofing itself. We said.
This says frame the roof and install plywood, ice water shield, and asphalt shingles.
So we're talking about asphalt shingles on the flat roof.
How flat is that? Yeah, that is flat. Good, nobody's been called from the architect. I'm just gotta make sure the pictures.
Sure. Yeah, again, that's language of proposed by our contractor,
If we kind of want it to be. Another material like a rubber roof. Something for that, but.
Yeah, if it's not a certain pitch.
Asphalt does.
Just whips it up.
sure, my understanding, and you're right, that the original photo appears to be flat. From these photos, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You may have a couple of degrees, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, it's not sufficient enough to use asphalt shingling, so
Those are usually the rubber.
So we could do that, go back, the rubber roof rather than the asphalt shingling, depending on the degree of the, like you said, it appears to be flat. But for the most, I mean, about flat.
Well, okay, so you see where we got a meet now all. In general, there's no adverse effect to the project. These things. What other standard do I ask?
So again, whether is there no adverse impact, and if there is, what's the mitigation for the impact?
Okay, well, I think we just mitigated. So the way we're gonna state this, go ahead.
The last thing that I didn't notice is what the finish is. Is it all paint? Like, there's no mention about any finishing.
Yeah, I think we would stain it, if that's sufficient.
Oh, it's whatever it's gonna protect them.
Sure, yeah.
You don't paint it or stain it, it's just gonna.
The original language was pressure treated specifically for that reason, but to be in accordance with the historical guidelines, we decided to move towards that tongue and groove. And those materials that would need to be stained for, to preserve the integrity of the material, so.
I understand.
So, yeah, so we would stain the material. Rather than paint.
This, so I'm not gonna read this after. So,
We're gonna see this the next time.
Yeah. First time
So
around.
the key is no adverse, if there is, what the remedy is. So there would be. From the start, there would be adverse conditions here. Yeah, I think we just eliminated them all, so we kind of try to summarize it one more time, but. Just for the install of tongue and groove floorboards. Gotta go for some tongue and groove floorboards. Build a 4-step stair to the main entrance. Install railings around the porch on both sides of the stairs. That's just your, and then I would duplicate the railing plus the black.
Exactly.
But on the stairs coming down, just
the black pipe on the stairs going down, the rest of the porch, there would be existing railing as well as the black pipe.
frame and install wood lattice foundation board underneath the porch, build 12-foot columns and horizontal 4-6 beams, build a roof ceiling, drain the roof and install plywood, ice, water, shield, asphalt shingles, install soffit foundation building. I wrote wood, putting more people in the original material. And then, how do you want, I'm gonna need to help the architect here about the brackets. They're reusing and the replacement like that. I just wrote reuse brackets and duplicate is required. So that, all those notes would make it so that I don't think there's any adverse impact. Any other commissioners have questions or suggestions?
If you want to add the direction of the billboards. Or anything like that.
Not good with that.
Well, that's what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, something multi-lab visible.
And how high were the existing railings again?
That's a code issue for.
Whatever the bottom of the window sill is.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then we would just have the pipe rail extending.
Yes, the original wood should be the same height as the roof. And whatever the required height of the railing is, required, was it 36?
36 inches.
So it's gonna be.
Well, make them count. Yeah, staining may not look very nice because you're using pine, because it doesn't take stain very long. So it might be better if it's simply minor thing.
Okay, does it all make sense to you?
It does. Yeah, a lot of this language is language we had updated since our initial submission. It's been a learning curve for sure.
Yeah, well, it's what we do. So if commissioners are happy with some of these edits we made, I would entertain a motion that there is no adverse. Yes, with the application as amended. That good enough for you? Okay. I need multiple people keeping in mind here. Okay, somebody want to make that motion?
So moved.
Okay, for a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we're not expecting that vote. Sure. Do this one. Sure. Okay, no discussion? Okay, Commissioner Walsh, Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Nesbitt.
Yes.
Okay, so we've indicated there's no adverse.
It's been a long day.
You know.
It's late.
Yes. And but there's a lot that you've gotten, I don't know if you wrote notes. Yeah, we could probably make a copy of this for you.
Yeah, if you
You're
could,
gonna
that
be
would be
able to
great.
read this.
Yeah, a lot of the language we had in our, our updated, but yeah, using, the new copy with anything that we may have missed would be good.
Unless you break notes if you want, can you make it, just make a copy of it? Because you'll be able to maybe read it, maybe not, maybe you have experience in reading my handwriting. I got people told me I should have been a man, but I do have patience.
You got my handwriting for it?
I do, yes. Yeah, so if I got like 10 points knocked off, I really never handled it with the supposed to go. If I got that back, I'd go do it at the top. So a little bit.
Thank you for.
Anyways, okay. No, we appreciate this, but if you get the hang of it, so you learn to kind of guidelines, and when you're looking at it the first time, you're thinking it different. You're already thinking. How can we fit? But we appreciate you guys coming.
Yeah, and this particular portion, it's current state kind of an eyesore, so, we're looking.
Yeah, that needs a big one quick.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any other business before us today? We have a section 106 for you. Section 106 review, which one did I miss? Oh, we did Liberty Street, but that's just for this antenna thing, right?
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank
I
you.
look forward to seeing you. Have something.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you definitely will be seeing this.
Okay, good. Okay, that's right. We have this closed antennas where there's already tons of antennas. And I don't think there's any adverse anything's going on. It's just another adverse anything's going on. Yeah. I mean, it's not a historic place or
If any adverse impacts any historic resources.
Yeah. No. Yesterday. So, no historic anything, also pretty much, they're just changing out antennas. So I would entertain a motion that there's no adverse impact. Would they change out of antennas at 13 Street? Yes. Make a motion.
I'll make a motion that there is no, we anticipate no negative.
Okay.
Adverse.
Second.
All right, we're in discussion on that. Okay, I'm gonna just call for a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes. Okay, now, anybody else? We have usually allow a few minutes for public speak out if anybody wants to tell us something. Yeah, that's not always good, right thing for me to ask, but anybody want to speak out?
Harry Seymour, 68 Washington Road. I would like to say that as these splits are becoming more and more popular you do have that issue that Ralph was pointing out, that they're coming out all over the houses now.
I know it, you're absolutely right. It's a minimal visibility, but they don't, see what. That's who I like to have sit in front of, so these contractors should do stuff like that. Cause they don't care what we, plus if we could give them guidelines ahead of time, they look at it with, in their initial look, they'd see. Maybe we can make this not visible, much less visible or
I
inappropriate.
doubt they're even thinking about it.
That's what I mean, I wish they would. So, I was keeping that in mind with this one, this one was a minimal visible installation, but I know the next one's gonna be right on the front of the house.
Yeah.
And that will be different. That will be
Yeah, they
different.
just pop out of their house. It's not even like they're like traveling around, it's just all of a sudden they pop out and there they are. Like,
There they are.
like swirling across the, like some alien animal. The side of the.
I think I saw that movie. Oh, so you have
Oh,
to
well.
leave that out here sometimes.
Oh, well.
Anybody else, anything else? Go ahead.
My name is Estela Zuniga. I'm a first time home builder on 147 Tiny Woods.
Yeah.
No, I have, so this is my first time, so I wanted to visit them and see what the house needs to be upgraded to, updated, so I just wanted to learn.
Well, there's a lot of stuff on the
Yeah.
city website that can help you.
Yeah.
And then, can help you. Great.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm nearby too.
Okay.
I go to Washington. Road.
If that's, if I'm eating no other business, and then the motion to adjourn.
So, next to the.
Any discussion?
Motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Oh, okay.
Aye.
Well, Washington.